Before we talk about episode 8, let's quickly go back to episode 7, because it quietly prepared one of the most important developments of this entire arc. Episode 7 was the point where Rudeus and his friends were finally introduced to a much bigger world of magic, summoning, and legendary figures. The biggest name hanging over the episode was Perugius Dola, the Armored Dragon King. Perugius is not just another powerful magician. He is one of the legendary figures connected to the defeat of demon god Laplace hundreds of years ago, and his floating fortress, Chaos Breaker, has been one of those mysterious pieces of the Mushoku Tensei world that has existed in the background for a very long time. The anime had actually shown Perugius and Appo's presence much earlier, so seeing him finally become an active character feels like the story is paying off something it planted years ago. Nanahoshi was also extremely important in episode 7. Because of her research into summoning magic, she had a connection to Perugius that allowed Rudeus and the others to receive an invitation to his fortress. And that invitation is much more significant than it initially appears. Rudeus is used to being one of the strongest people in the room. But Chaos Breaker immediately changes that feeling. Inside the fortress, he is surrounded by people and creatures whose abilities, histories, and knowledge are far beyond what he normally encounters. That creates an interesting contrast. Rudeus has become incredibly powerful because of his second life. But Perugius represents something different. He represents centuries of experience. He has lived through events that Rudeus has only read about. And that makes Rudeus realize that becoming stronger does not automatically mean understanding the world. Another important development from episode 7 was Nanahoshi and Appo's worsening condition. She had already been coughing repeatedly, and the episode made it increasingly difficult to ignore. At first, it could have looked like a minor illness. But Mushoku Tensei rarely introduces something like this without a reason. Nanahoshi is one of the few people in this world who shares Rudeus and Appo's connection to Earth. She's also one of the people trying to solve the mystery of summoning and figure out how to return to her original world. So if something happens to her, it could affect much more than her own life. And that is exactly where episode 8 begins. The journey to Chaos Breaker is not simply a meeting with a legendary magician. It is the beginning of a much larger mystery. And episode 8 finally starts revealing how serious that mystery really is.
Let's get to some more Mushoku Tensei.
That girl's pretty awesome actually. It seems like it wasn't an awfully popular episode, but I really enjoyed it. I've got this interesting part with Nanahoshi going to be taking us to I forget the guy's name to be honest with you, but a pretty big deal.
Resist a demon invasion.
Oh.
I mean,
Wait.
I know we're going to meet
Yeah,
Faroh.
it's destroyed.
Is it Roxy a part of the demon race?
Faroh try to kill us? Maybe.
Huggies.
Hero of the Laplace
Armored
War.
Dragon.
Wow, familiar.
It's
Ancient
pretty
Magy.
cool. Prepared it just so he could feed the guy
Oh.
saying
Armored Dragon
Damn.
Commander. Cool.
That's quite the influence he has.
Sarek
Did set up for 12 people. Looks like we're very much filled that quota
A
have.
fucking spear
just kick
pillar.
that stone and
Entrance
teleport.
portal?
Teleport stone? Just like.
Huh?
Oh, never, not what I thought.
Oh. You call for a ride. Dragon?
Only the creature
Okay,
requires
shout out to humans.
And dog whistle type thing.
Specific frequency.
I did notice that, but not
What is that? Oh.
I was expecting
Oh, yeah, we
that.
saw him.
Wait, does he look familiar?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
I forgot his name, but I do remember what he looks like.
I don't remember this guy.
Okay.
Oh, him?
This one.
No recuerdo ese momento.
The demon must be.
Discrimination.
Oh, that's racist.
That's
Aborrece
fair.
a los demonios.
But that's not fair. I mean, understandable, I guess.
Damn, I'm used to being
That's like a
drunk.
minority wife can't come.
Pero pues,
That completely went over her head. Wait, is this part demon?
él no hace más que abrazarla.
I know this spot has a demon right away. I gotta remember.
Interesting.
Demons just look like humans.
Pero si está
Sorry, I don't remember this
And
guy.
I,
Anyway, Roxy, we'll
Yeah,
go.
my headcanon brain
I
will never
thought fear,
classify
I thought fear was fucking
0%.
racist.
TP.
I forget Previous got a thing for demons ever. He's still now. Yeah, even then.
O sea, se están olvidando el prota. Ese tipo de historia me recuerda a algo.
It's not similar to, you know, Mindscape that
That's how you get there. That's
the man god was talking
That's a
to.
very weird
Teleportation
teleportation.
It makes sense that aren't we going down to
Alito
fix
Dani,
tell
sí.
us to something faster?
Technically, the thing you're holding is like
Yeah, they're scary.
It would be the first time it's happened.
I would actually like get busy looking at
flying.
them.
I'm pretty sure I knew that.
Also,
If I did know, it completely slipped my mind.
what is
Hey, she looks like Mother Miranda.
Person.
La primera.
Oh.
First surgery.
I saw someone wings last
Speaker.
Chaos Breaker.
Chaos
Oh,
Breaker.
nice.
with like the fucking
I
Genova
know.
shit.
Let's play.
It gives off that sort of vibe. I just can't help it.
Yeah,
Now, this is
I
literally
know Mushoku Tensei.
I didn't think it was gonna be this big.
So peaceful.
How heavy?
You have
Yeah,
magic.
better no. Definitely not.
Yeah, I honestly can't tell. Like, if she's
Seguro va intro al final.
Now that's
Pretty.
that has to be like just surreal when you walk through stuff like when you walk through stuff.
Why does
That was
it
some
lie?
barrier.
pass through.
Oh, they have a little they have a little like one of those detectors.
His weapon.
What, determining who they are?
Pero sin fin también.
What's happened?
It's native to this world? Is that what that was?
You caught it! You caught it!
Mango.
You caught it!
She like seen him already?
You can sense the line.
It sure does!
Sophie was
Yeah, my balls.
Anger.
He's a rather arousing man.
Ruby.
What would you have said?
Porque la última vez.
Kind of run out.
You know what?
I'm surprised that you got away with that.
This time he actually did it. And plus Sophie just kind of
Fantasy.
See, my beef is, y'all got information out of me. Now I've seen this Remagnus for like.
Yeah, you'll probably lose
He
your
didn't say it 4 times in the same
I'm
place.
saying that he's
Okay,
like,
I don't blame her.
I wonder what would have happened if she said
Bueno,
us
siguiente
right there
también.
and there.
See, I'd be terrified of that one because even if it's like the power of the ship, I'd be worried they
so
could be like
scary.
projectile.
Obviously, they're
cool
really
looking
strong, but they don't get
chandelier.
slower.
Also,
So
what
fast.
is going
Can't
on
see
here?
what that thing.
got the diamonds
Why are
floating
you
and shit.
Not
schizophrenic as
followers,
hell?
not.
There he is.
Go.
El parecido. Perú,
Granddaddy
todo.
characters.
He has
Tremendo.
No, Some need some yeah, I noticed that.
that's the
Yo,
dragon
this
mark.
this voice actor has such a comforting voice.
It was.
Nice.
So basically,
Person of knowledge.
Yeah, it's a pretty big group.
So many
yeah,
people.
these my
We're down
yeah,
one
these
as
my
well.
bosses, my homies.
Whoa.
As long as everyone leaves with their heads attached to their shoulders, I'm gonna consider this to be a relatively successful business.
Somebody actually I'll hold my thoughts.
No, I just like to travel.
Oh.
Straight up.
Yeah,
just
Really?
talking to us.
I wanted to catch a glimpse of you.
Oh,
I don't know she's lying, so of course she knows she's
Past
lying.
you read it like a book.
Sweat.
Read it
I
like a
can see
book.
through you.
I'm saying don't hide anything from him.
He's gonna ask to
Call me
change your
Big
whole
Papa.
flow too.
Oh.
Why he's so angry?
¿Qué será que le ve?
I did think that was the case.
That's why he was late.
Wow.
No podría
He's
forzar.
an outsider.
That's crazy.
Because of Roxy?
Yeah.
Mano, me recuerda el de Laplas.
That Orsted pointed that out back then.
You disgust me, pig. Behave yourself.
Oh yeah, and also
Racista otra vez.
Chico also pointed that out. It's repulsive.
Looking at
That's why he was teleported last.
You stink. Don't use that shit.
Too many eyes on him, Jesus.
Con ese maná que no le gusta.
Oh. Collaborator.
My mama's brain don't work.
Knowledge.
Oh, his mother's memory.
One request. Knowledge? Roxy?
His is like the most purest.
Oh, the mother.
I almost forgot that was the reason they hit.
You will serve as their hearts. Altered by mana.
So
Todos tienen sus recuerdos.
Zans was literally
Joder,
was in the process of becoming powerful with the fucking
pero no ha
lab.
demostrado.
Danger!
First are
Oh yeah, the
blessed
Miko.
children.
Heard about that shit from like the airsoft game.
Is she here?
Oh.
Oh?
Eloise! Oh, you got cursed.
Elinali?
Sex curse.
Sí, es verdad, esa no va.
So she got
Pero ¿y
cured.
qué tenía que ver eso con lo del...?
Yeah, I suppose that rings a bell.
Yeah, she didn't say anything.
Right? I mean, they keep coming to
Yeah, why didn't you tell her? You travel over that
Oh, you didn't say.
Yeah.
Is that Cliff?
El macho.
Good husband.
Cliff knows.
Don't be scared.
Got a little clip.
Damn.
I'm
Muy fuerte que no se lo cuente.
subject to talk about.
Que se entere así.
No, because Eloise's work, she says not curable.
Oh no.
You probably should have been quiet.
Rose about the goons who close to his son.
Ah, no bad.
He's like the Wizard of Oz, like, you know?
Does he want the throne? Right.
Boy.
Mad Dragon King.
Lost instead.
Bro, you need to chill.
Ah.
You need to chill.
Damn, bro.
So fucking excited.
Unfortunate. Yeah, I was beside the marionette.
Una que es muy útil.
This guy does know everything, doesn't
Parachute.
If this actually ends up being the person,
I love his moment the most.
that's actually fun.
Oh,
Let's go.
Jesus Christ, he actually does like him.
You got plenty more to go.
Actually dieball.
But this guy looking some kind of like fumbling.
He's the only one who wasn't even nervous. By the way, he was excited.
Find a connection with him. I've
I don't know about his position. If I was his position, I'd be quite pissed off. You all want to fucking yap on my
Espaldas.
I
quite annoyed.
La primera.
Okay.
We have a daughter.
Sherry pregnant?
Why?
Como que tráiganmelo.
This is a wonder.
I thought he was gonna ask for a sacrifice.
¿Por qué o qué?
Imagine being born and
This is
being
an honor.
named by the fucking
How's that
dragon,
bad?
man.
Honor, I don't know.
Out of the three. Yeah.
He seems like he's an honest guy.
Ni yo.
No one in this world.
Especially
So
if he's saying
God.
it had they been an
Someone from the human world? Oh.
Happened by chance.
That Rudy
Sí,
also
sí, me
got
acuerdo.
I heard that arc
as
as
well.
well.
Believe that? Oh, that was
There'll be many, many seasons before we learn the truth.
Yeah, anyone else want to yap? Any more? Fair play to him. It's pretty nice to him. I wasn't
I kind of like how
anything else you
kind of tense the atmosphere. No particular music, whatnot. The sound, the echoing voices.
How did you get cured? Alvin's village.
Oh. Never mind. My joke instantly shut down.
Oh.
I didn't know what she was like 200 years ago.
Best way to change up black and white to retell that tale.
She recovered naturally. The memories didn't come back.
Her curse. Got it, right.
The curse.
Oh no.
A small mana crystal.
Oh, mana crystal.
Oh, she makes money.
Freaked out at first, but then you realize it actually is helping.
Sold it.
Y perdió la vida.
Oh, no.
But with that curse.
But of course, your curse forces you to not have any control. Definitely one of the
And the Kittara.
So
One after the other, the whole 4 of them.
You've been trapped for such a long time.
The village threw out. Just take everyone's husband.
And even after you regain that, you still have this
This
fucking
is the
curse.
story that inspired Bonnie Blue.
So
Quite before its time.
Remember how she
That
had
makes me more
powers,
sure.
I guess, for her
If Zenith went on this,
it's a
what kind of curse
moneymaker.
should it
That's a
have?
game changer for Cliff.
Like,
¿Y sus hijos?
low-key scared.
Por científico.
No, I'm high-key scared. Never. What the hell?
That's what she wanted to tell you.
Never mind.
Clearly.
It is, isn't it?
different
Yeah, that's a.
curse.
She ain't gonna be a sex fiend.
Bueno,
Like that.
es lo que percibe.
And I feel like Zen is probably much different.
So
It probably
really
may depend on
all
how
you
long she was trapped there.
Biggest deal ever.
Magical cure-all.
Not sure why she is.
What kind of properties are
O sea,
that?
sí lo entiendo, pero
Like the specifics
She
may
doesn't
not
have a
know.
door.
Oh, good for you.
Maybe I'm just overthinking shit like here.
Understandable is that she didn't want to.
And they still don't know about his whole life.
It's not like she had
That
a
he
kid.
before he was in
Like
Japan.
like a curse in the first place. Like that seems pretty light relative to
Like, I'm convinced she's gonna sell
what we already know.
but man, it's such a
conseguí algo inesperado.
Unexpected bonus. Summoning. Circles look so cool.
Still hung up on that naming of the child part. What was that about? That was very weird.
Isekai knowledge, so cool.
Que lo atiendan en la Nagoshi será bueno.
Nice. Dude, this place is
Oh.
amazing. I want to live here.
Like Iron Dog. Sounds so funny.
I feel like
The swing of bread.
Tremenda la comidita.
Good.
That's some good looking food though. Jokes aside.
and she can't be cured of it.
Homey food.
I'm so worried now. She keeps having that dry cough.
Right.
It's making me fucking uncomfortable. Something else?
I recently watched how soy sauce was made, which was quite surprising to me. It was like quite the ordeal to make.
Yo, that's what he said. I'm gonna take this
She
chance.
liked the
He's like, you
Japanese
get anything
style.
around this world?
She didn't like it.
Gente.
Not yummy.
Oh, I didn't realize that's actually.
Oh no, she loves
But
it.
it's
Made her
close
miss
enough.
Como extraña. Qué rara.
Closer to home though, yeah?
It's not yummy, but it still makes you miss home.
Because that nostalgia still hits. And you still
Probar que sea un poquito.
kind of yearn for that. So you just keep going.
dragged here.
Wow.
Like it may
First time
not
I've
be
seen
the
that subtitle like that.
perfect copy, boy,
Attempted
but
translation.
you still want it because you want that. You want
We're just
this
gonna
in
watch
whatever way possible, even if it's not the real thing.
How does it stay afloat? Magic.
That's how we're
What is staring at?
That's quite ominous looking, isn't
Maybe
it?
that's also a sign of don't go down there, but we're gonna
Go
go.
adventure.
We're gonna go down
I'm sure
there.
this is the best place to just randomly go
Yeah,
adventure.
Generally
You
consistent.
thought about it. Now go ask.
Door?
Oh, no biggie.
Okay.
I know she said it's fine, okay.
面白い。
Wow.
Oh.
Quarry for all the rocks?
A boss dungeon.
Like a boss
cool
fight.
sign.
We need like a key to open it. We're gonna
It's
fight a
not
big
locked.
dragon.
This gonna be respond to Rudy. Oh my god.
Something so
On the romance.
Yeah, you gotta love this. It's like the entrance to a boss room.
There's rats down there.
This could be something like
Places are bad.
What are rats
That's disappointing.
Like relic ground.
Quanta cosa hay ahí.
Empty old room.
Oh, bugs.
Hieroglyphs.
Right? Okay, my bad.
Fucking
I lied.
This is like our story, is it? Like angels.
of this past lord.
Oh, never mind, a dragon.
It's probably tells me
Some winged angels, some
Why is he here?
dragons here.
I mean, shouldn't it be okay? They're with her.
It tingles my balls. What can I say?
We're telling him.
I love that he
That man, he was royalty.
Me lo puse por gusto.
It was not my taste.
Okay.
Oh.
Almost nothing left.
So it wasn't originally his. Okay.
Oh.
Golf course.
Interesting, okay.
Retelling some sort of
Will of his
cool thing where there's some people out there.
I would pause and have a look,
Pero
but
¿por qué dicen reconocer la historia?
yeah.
Tell us, man. You went on a roundabout.
Someone died there. There's some mourning here.
Dragon wings.
I want to know more about this.
あくまで持ち主でしかないんだよね、プロデュースはね。この壁画の意味な。
I'm sure Peregrine knows more than he's letting them on.
Starring so
Okay,
hard.
this probably has to do with dragon.
Interesting guy.
He has something to do with
One woman had wings.
やっぱ原作は相当追加されてるんだね。
Because he keeps staring at that shit.
Foxy is so sick.
He doesn't need
Yeah.
it.
Unless you went home. Oh.
No,
Yeah, fair.
I felt
No
bad
tiene
for
mucho
her
que
just
hacer.
sitting
just
there.
ask him for whatever you need.
知識とかなんじゃない彼にない
I think we should use Zenova. Seems to get along quite well with him.
Yeah,
Let's
be his
try using
friend,
him
like straight up.
for negotiations or something.
I feel
And then
like
Rohan will
he's
answer.
in unique things.
Sort of it.
で、ザノバも連れてきて。
How'd you know it came out awful?
Jealous.
Why
No.
It's a very different connection.
Wifey number 3 incoming.
Ella no va a ser la tercera,
He's
tranquila.
just really concerned. I think come on, like
La ponen nerviosos.
I never.
こともさ、わけわかんない。
Just forever and ever. Smart.
she got
Smart.
that.
I was
She
thinking
got that.
they had no chemistry. Oh, and she showed up. Then a Hoshi. I'm my wife.
Is that your new greeting now, Hoshi? Is it?
You?
Aguanta, pero ya.
How is getting so much money?
No, she's not
さすが
okay.
に心配してあげて。
Bro, you need to sort yourself out.
それだけで平気
Okay, it does feel like she's getting
かけてもらおう。
Fans magic.
Still blows my mind. Stuff is like really good.
It's not getting better.
Oh, this is not good.
おかしい。
What's going on?
膨れ上がる。
あ、この城の中で
Getting worse. Wait.
Se nos va.
Fishbone stuff. Oh my god, holy shit.
That's a lie.
That's
a lie.
Fucking hell.
Coughed up blood.
Oh,
No, I didn't.
白いね、やっぱあれのせいなのかな。
Oh,
Say, oh,
wait,
look
did
at
the
Blue.
mana? Oh, Did you just have like a...
Episode 8 is one of those episodes where the story looks quiet on the surface, but underneath, almost every scene is setting up something important. And the biggest theme I noticed is this. Knowledge can be more dangerous than power. Rudius arrives at Chaos Breaker as an incredibly powerful mage. But Perugius doesn't, and oppose. T seem particularly impressed by raw strength. What matters to Perugius is history, knowledge, responsibility, and the kind of person standing in front of him. That is important, because Rudius has spent most of his life improving his abilities. He learned magic. He learned swordsmanship. He became stronger. He defeated powerful enemies. But now he is entering a world where strength alone is not enough. Perugius has something Rudius cannot simply train for. He has centuries of experience. And that makes his presence feel completely different from most characters Rudius has encountered. Perugius Dola, the power of experience. The introduction of Perugius is probably the highlight of Episode 8. He immediately feels like someone who belongs to a different generation of the world. He doesn't and oppose, need to demonstrate his full power. His personality does most of the work. He speaks with authority. He doesn't and oppose, seem particularly interested in impressing anyone. And even Ariel, who's a princess and future political leader, quickly realizes that she is dealing with someone who cannot simply be treated like an ordinary noble. This is important for Rudius too. Rudius has always been able to rely on his ability to read situations and adapt. But Perugius has been reading situations for hundreds of years. That creates a very interesting relationship between them. Rudius is powerful because he is talented. Perugius is powerful because he has survived long enough to understand how the world works. Those are two completely different forms of strength. And I think Episode 8 is deliberately introducing Perugius as someone who can become a mentor figure without necessarily becoming a traditional teacher. He represents the kind of knowledge Rudius still lacks. Chaos Breaker is more than a cool castle. Another thing I really liked about Episode 8 is Chaos Breaker itself. The floating fortress doesn't and oppose. Just look impressive. It makes the world feel much larger. For most of Mushoku Tensei, Rudius travels through towns, kingdoms, forests, and dangerous regions. But Chaos Breaker feels almost disconnected from ordinary society. It exists above the world. And that makes Perugius feel like someone who watches history from a completely different perspective. The architecture, the atmosphere, and the summoned beings inside the fortress all reinforce that idea. Rudius is essentially walking into the home of a living legend. And this is one of those moments where the world building is doing more than simply explaining lore. It is showing us how small Rudius and Oppo's current understanding of the world actually is. Elinali's and Oppo's story changes how we see her. But Episode 8 is not only about Perugius. The episode also gives us more information about Elinali's. And this is extremely important because Elinali's has always been one of the funniest and most chaotic characters in the series. It would be easy to look at her only as the horny elf who constantly gets involved with men. But Episode 8 reminds us that there is a much darker story underneath that personality. Her history is connected to magical imprisonment and a past she cannot simply forget. The anime uses her backstory to show that the version of Elinali's we see today is partly a survival mechanism. Her behavior is not simply comedy. There is history behind it. There is pain behind it. And there is also a mystery surrounding her true identity. This is something the anime has been hinting at for a long time, and Episode 8 finally gives that mystery more weight. What makes this especially interesting is that Elinali's is not treated as a tragic character all the time. She can still be funny. She can still be ridiculous. But now we understand that her personality exists alongside a much heavier past. That makes her feel more human. Nanahoshi, the real crisis of Episode 8. However, the most important part of Episode 8 is Nanahoshi. Her coughing has been getting worse. And this episode finally makes it clear that something is seriously wrong. The frightening part is that Nanahoshi and Oppo's condition does not feel like an ordinary illness. Her body reacts strangely to the magical environment. And because she is originally from Earth, she is already biologically and magically different from the people of this world. That makes her situation extremely difficult to understand. And this is where Rudius becomes important. Rudius knows that Nanahoshi is one of the few people who can potentially help explain the connection between Earth and this world. She has spent years researching summoning magic. Her goal ISN and Oppo's simply academic. She wants to find a way home. So when Nanahoshi collapses, it feels like the story is threatening one of the most important sources of information about the entire reincarnation mystery. The emotional impact also comes from Sylphie. Her relationship with Nanahoshi has always been complicated. Sylphie can be jealous of how much time Rudius spends with Nanahoshi, but she also cares about her. And episode 8 shows that Sylphie and Oppo's concern is genuine. When Nanahoshi and Oppo's condition becomes critical, Sylphie doesn't and Oppo's just stand there. She reacts immediately. That scene is important because it demonstrates how much Sylphie has grown. She is not simply Rudius and Oppo's wife who stays behind while he handles dangerous situations. She is a powerful mage in her own right. And when someone she cares about is in danger, she acts. The most important idea: Rudius can and Oppo's solve everything. This is where I think episode 8 connects to the larger story. Rudius is becoming stronger and stronger. But every time he thinks he has reached a new level, the world gives him another problem that strength cannot solve. He couldn't and Oppo's prevent Paul and Oppo's death. He cannot immediately fix Zenith. He cannot completely understand Orsted. And now he cannot simply use magic to solve Nanahoshi and Oppo's condition. That is a recurring lesson for Rudius. His greatest weakness is not necessarily a lack of power. It is the fact that he doesn't and Oppo's have enough information. And episode 8 gives him access to someone who might possess exactly that missing knowledge. Perugius. That is why this meeting could become extremely important for the future. Episode 9 Prediction. So what do I think will happen in episode 9? My biggest prediction is that Nanahoshi and Oppo's condition will become the central storyline. The ending of episode 8 makes it very difficult for the anime to simply move on. Rudius is going to need answers. And because Perugius is connected to summoning magic and has an enormous amount of knowledge, I expect him to become involved in finding a solution. I also think we may learn more about Nanahoshi and Oppo's relationship with Perugius. She clearly knows him better than Rudius does. And that raises a very interesting question. What happened between Nanahoshi and Perugius before Rudius ever met him? We know Nanahoshi has been conducting research for years. We also know Perugius has his own knowledge of summoning. So episode 9 could reveal another piece of the mystery surrounding how Nanahoshi arrived in this world and why her situation is different from Rudius and Oppo's. I also expect Rudius to start taking the possibility of Nanahoshi and Oppo's death much more seriously. That could force him to think beyond his own family. He has always wanted to protect Sylphie, Roxy, Eris, and the people close to him. But Nanahoshi is different. She is connected to his previous life. She is someone who remembers the same world he came from. So losing her could feel like losing another piece of his old identity. And finally, I expect Perugius to become even more important. Episode 8 introduced him. Episode 9 could begin showing us why the story waited this long to bring him into Rudius and Oppo's life. Because Perugius ISN and Oppo's just another powerful character. He represents the history of this world. And Rudius represents its future. Putting those two characters in the same room could change the direction of the story. So my prediction is that episode 9 will focus less on a huge battle and more on Nanahoshi and Oppo's condition, Perugius and Oppo's knowledge and the deeper mystery behind summoning magic. And honestly, that may be even more important than a big fight. Because Mushoku Tensei has always been at its best when it reminds us that Rudius and Oppo's journey ISN and Oppo's simply about becoming stronger. It and Oppo's about understanding why this world works the way it does.